Alright, this is your lecture on outlining and formatting an outline in Word. Alright, an outline is a short summary of your main topics and principal ideas. You can use your outline as an organizational tool to order your thoughts and notes on the subject you're writing about. So the procedure for making an outline is first, list the important points about a subject. Next, classify the items on the list into meaningful groups. And finally, decide on a method for organizing the groups to present this information clearly and effectively. For example, move from the least important to the most important points, or you can also go from the most important points to the least important points, just according to how you would like to present things. So after you've arranged your information in logical order, group into large, obvious divisions. These divisions will be your main topics. The number of main topics you include will depend on the assignment. Next, you'll see how your main topics can be subdivided. These subtopics must relate to the main topic. You must have at least 2 subtopics under a main topic or none at all. Alright, so content. Your outline can be as simple or as sophisticated as you want it to be. Its purpose is to get your thoughts organized and down on paper where you can look at them objectively. An outline briefly states the main topics and subtopics. Each main topic will later become the topic sentence for a paragraph. The subtopics will be used as supporting details. An outline, like the paper itself, should have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. The introduction should state the focus or purpose of the paper. Its purpose is to let the reader know what the rest of the paper will cover in detail. So it should contain your thesis statement and your essay map. You can also briefly discuss some historical background and provide important definitions. This is where you set yourself up as your credibility as an author, okay? Most of your outline will be taken up by the body paragraphs. Spell out the main ideas of your paper along with the subtopics that support them in the body. The body may include explanations, comparisons, contrasts, examples, analogies, facts, and historical details. The level of detail should depend on the length of the paper itself. Of course, what you're going to be concentrating, of course, is examples. That's mostly what you're going to be doing. You might put in some explanations, maybe some comparisons and contrasts, and of course facts, but your main focus is going to be examples, okay? A conclusion is also necessary. This can be a summary of points you've made in your paper, or it can be a reaffirmation of your thesis. You should mention your thesis in your conclusion, because you always want everything to revert back to that thesis, even in your body paragraphs. Each body paragraph should at some point explain why those examples relate to your thesis, okay? It shows the reader that you have demonstrated that you have set out to prove, okay? Your conclusion should come out and say, okay, I told you in the introduction with my thesis that I was going to do this. I gave you my body paragraphs where I used my examples to prove this. And guess what? Eureka, I did it. Okay? So now we're going to look at formatting. A sentence outline uses complete sentences for each topic and subtopic. Now, there's also such a thing as a topic outline, which summarizes the main points in brief phrases. You need to remember something though. If you're ever asked to do a topic outline, which you will do one with our 4th essay, those are done with fragments. You're just getting your main ideas out there in small fragments. Your final outline can be either a topic outline or a sentence outline, but never a combination of the two. When you get to that topic outline, do not mix sentences with fragments. You pick either one or the other. You either do a topic outline or you do a sentence outline. You don't mix the two types up, okay? But with this one, you are required to do a sentence outline. All the headings in your outline must be expressed in parallel phrasing. That means all topics of equal importance must be equally indented. Topics and subtopics are identified by Roman numerals, capital letters, Arabic numbers, and lowercase letters in that order, followed by periods. So the construction of your outline. You place a Roman numeral and a period before each topic, indent subtopics under main topics, and place a capital letter and a period before each subtopic. Capitalize the first word of both topics and subtopics. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do this in Word. So I'm going to tab down to a clean page so I can show you exactly how to do all this. Okay, back up a little too far. All right, so I'm going to scroll this up so we can look at the top of the sheet. All right, I'm going to go to heading, go to that page number. You're going to go to top of page, remember number 3. You're going to write your name, click the space bar, go back down to your page. Okay, now we're going to create your heading. You're going to put your name. Oh, see what I did? I have it on single. We're going to go to that little thing. I don't know what you call it, but you're going to go to that corner. You're going to click on double space, hit the OK, click it down, then you'll put my name, because I'm your instructor. Whatever class you're in, it's going to be your instructor name that comes next, okay? Then you're going to put SA1. This is where you put your assignment name, okay? In this case, this is a sentence out. Oop, I misspelled sentence. Sentence outline. Then you will put English 101, whatever class you're in, that will be your class identifier. And then you will put your due date next. You're going to click down one. You're going to come up here, hit center. Your title will then go here. You will click once more down. You will go back to left justify. And then here you're going to put thesis statement and essay map, semicolon, and a space, and then you're going to write it out. Because I didn't put any periods, it did funny. Okay, and you're going to click down one. Okay, from here, this is where the fun starts. You see this right here? This multi-level list. You're going to click on that arrow. Now, nope, you don't want that one. You want this one. Now, you see how this looks? This is that, remember when it talked about the Roman numerals? So you got Roman numerals here, and it said capital letters, and then it said Arabic numbers. Well, what is an Arabic number? That's an Arabic number. And then your lowercase letters. Now you got this option or you got this option. You want to use this one. Okay. You want it always in that order, followed by those periods. So we're going to go here and use the Roman numeral 1. This is where your introduction goes. Introduction. Period at the end, because you're of course you're just going to write introduction here. Okay, it's automatically going to put that 2. Roll that back all the way. If you don't, it's going to mess up your alignment. So then you're going to put your A. See where I put that A? Exactly in that space. That's exactly where it's supposed to go. Now this is where you're going to put your first line of your introduction. You put a period. You're going to go down. Now, if you have something extra you want to say under that line, then you would put something there, but you're probably not. And then you're going to put your next line of whatever you want to say in your introduction. And then this will probably be where you put your thesis statement and essay map. Usually it comes at the end of your introduction. You might here have a transition sentence. Oops, I can spell sentence right. All right, you're not going to have an E. You're going to go all the way back. Then you're going to come back up here and do your Roman numeral 2. Now, this will be where you put your topic sentence. Your topic sentence is like a mini thesis statement. Okay? It is the thesis statement for this paragraph. It is that first thing. Remember, there's 3 essay map items. It is your first essay map item. Do not go backwards. Okay? Do not use the last essay map item to do this topic sentence here, to do this first body paragraph item. However you listed those essay map items, 1, 2, and 3, you list them as your topic sentence going down. 1, 2, and 3. List them in order, okay? Don't go backwards. Do them in the order in which you list them in the thesis statement, okay? So that's going to be your topic sentence, which is the mini thesis statement for that paragraph. You're going to go down. It's going to do a 3. Go all the way back. Then you're going to go back up here. And see, now it's conveniently at the top. So now you got your A. This will be probably your first example. Okay. And you might have something else you want to say about that example. That's where you're going to go to that 1. Got something to say here. Because you're explaining that example. Maybe you started the example, but you need to say some extra things about it. And maybe you got to say some extra things about that one. Okay. And you go all the way back. Oops, I went too far. You go all the way back. And now you need to do a second example. You see how that works? And you have a second example, excuse me. Example. Now, this is where it gets tricky. In an outline, if you have these 2 things, then you must have 2 things under here. So if you're not going to do that for every one of your examples, all the way down this outline, then you go back and you take those out. It's just that simple. If you're not going to do that for every one of those examples, then just don't do them. Just don't put them in there. That's what, remember when I said you must have at least 2 subtopics under the main topic or none at all? That's what I was talking about. Because you must have that unity. Okay? So if you're not going to do that for each example, then just don't do it at all. Because it messes up the unity of the outline. Okay? It's okay to just put your example down there without all the extra details up underneath there at this point. Know that you want to put the details in there when you go to do your essay, of course. But you don't necessarily have to do them at this point. Okay? Now, really for a good paper, at this point, you should have a C. Okay? At this is where you analyze. This is where you take your 2 examples and you're going to, let me show you how to make a hyphen, by the way. Okay, so you say analyze, you hit the space bar, you hit that dash up there that's next to the 0 on your keyboard, hit the space bar again, and then like here, I'm going to write relate back. Do you see it jump? Back to thesis statement. Those 2 examples. Relate it back to your thesis statement. Okay? Then really here, you should have a conclusion statement. And even maybe a transition statement to the next paragraph. Now, you see that? How many sentences is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes care of your five statements. However, if underneath A here, Underneath A, say you're going to have a couple of sentences to explain that example. And underneath B, you're going to have a couple of sentences to explain example. Well, then you're going to have more than 5 sentences. It is perfectly okay with me if you have more than those 5 sentences. But really, a proper essay should have that topic sentence, and really that's 6 sentences. You should have a topic sentence. Maybe you're only going to use one example because it's a really good example that's going to go with that thesis statement, that essay map item, okay? Then you just go with D. And that's fine too, as long as it gets through what your message that you need to do. Okay, so then we have 3, and I'm really just going to go ahead. Oh, I didn't mean to delete it. Let's go ahead and go to 3. Well, I don't know why it's doing that. I guess because I didn't write anything. Let's go to 3. We're going to go down to 4. I'm just really skipping until I can get to 5. Then you get to your conclusion. Conclusion, period. Oops, we don't want 6. And you're going to have, your A. How many did you have in introduction? You had 4. You're really going to have, you need to have exactly the same thing for each one. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So you should have that in every one of those. Now in the conclusion sentence, it's going to be a little in your conclusion paragraph, it's going to be a little different from the introduction. Okay. Here in the conclusion sentence, you should kind of relate essay map item number 1 to thesis and summarize. Number 2, same but with essay map item. Number 2, same but with essay map item. Number 3, and then in D, that's your Eureka. What did you discover from writing this paper? Okay, that's what should happen there. That should be your big wow moment, okay? And I'm hoping you'll have one. Pick a topic that's not so easy that your brain doesn't even have to work. If you do that, there will be no excitement in writing your paper. It won't matter to you. You won't care. And I don't want you not to care. I want you to care at least a little bit. Okay, so that you can have that little bit of eureka at the end of it. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. But it should be enough that you feel some satisfaction for a job well done at the end of your paper. Okay? Everybody should feel that at the end of any assignment of this type. Even people who don't like to write should at least feel like, I kind of liked this topic. I liked writing on it. It was a little fun, just a smidge, and you shouldn't pick a topic that's so hard that your brain has to overwork so much that you hated doing it to the extent that it just made you want to slam your head on the wall. So pick a topic that you know you're going to like. Okay, I gave you 15 different kinds. If for some reason you don't like any of the topics and you think you have a topic that you'd rather write on, real simple. Email me, call me, text me. I'm open to suggestions. Now, I might tell you no, it's possible. But I am pretty open about other topics if it fits in with the line of the example essay. Okay, just keep that in mind. Look at the topics. You see the type of topics that are there. So make sure that it's in line with those types of questions, those types of statements that I've put in the topics, okay? And then if you want to try something different, then let me know, and we'll try to work it out. All right, so this is the end of the lecture on outlining and formatting the outline. All right, bye guys.